buddy. I'm trying to be quiet because my daughter's in the other room, but I finally got her to sleep and she went to sleep at the end. A win is a win, is a win, is a win, is a win. Yeah, buddy. Alida la raza, mucho elegante. We get Zeke back now. We get Zeke back in the house now, so it just doesn't matter from here. I don't care. I don't care. Zeke time, it's time to eat. Take the NFL with a vengeance, baby. Yeah. Hey. Where the clapping's at? Somebody give me some claps, man. Somebody give me the clapping emojis, man. Let's get the clapping. Let's get this clapping thing going in the right direction. Let's get this thing going, baby. Shout out to everybody that's in the box. Shout out to you guys, man. Hey, you know, a win is a win, is a win, is a win, is a win. There you go. Clap so hard, make my teeth white. Yeah. I love that. You know what I mean? Remember, you guys are listening to nothing but the best. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. A win is a win, is a win, is a win. I don't care how we got it. I was talking a lot of noise with the Raider Nation. I call them Hater Nation. They're giving me a lot of grief, trying to come up in here, try to talk to me in that type of fashion. You must not know who my daddy is, right? We winning. We winning. Now all we got to do, we got Zeke the Freak back now, baby. And the Rams did us a favor, right? I don't care what the Eagles did. And, you know, die, Eagles, die. I don't give a damn what they are. You know, this is all good over here. But, hey, Cheeto Bear Woozier, hey, he got his rookie wake-up call. We all know that it's going to happen one way or another. I mean, the official was letting Crabtree get a lot of bumps, you know, push off and stuff like that. And I was sitting there like cussing the whole entire game. Like, look, come on, refs. Let's just call this game a game, you know. But the refs was kind of calling it equally on both sides, you know. But at the end of the day, I like what Jordan Lewis is doing out there. And, hey. Orlando Scandrick, who? You don't need Orlando Scandrick now. You got Xavier Woods out there. That's what I'm talking about. Xavier Woods flying down, doing his dirt out there on the field. Hey, and there's something about that beard power, something about that beard power, baby. We're undefeated when the beard out there, baby. We're undefeated. I'm going to keep growing this beard, man. Some way we're going to get this thing going in the right direction. Shout out to KB for wearing his lucky socks. Whoever was wearing a lucky t-shirt, keep doing your thing. We got this. We got this. Don't worry about who's winning and losing. If the Saints got to lose out or if the Atlanta Falcons got to lose out, all we got to do is win. And we just stay positive. I mean, I know I was, man, you just don't know how mad I was when we was down there at the red zone, money zone, green zone. You know, you didn't run the ball with Rod Smith. 6'3", 240 pounds. All you got to do is lean forward, you know. And I'm telling everybody for the last 2 weeks that Alfred Morris does not finish his runs, you know. The coaching staff. But hey, a win is a win is a win. Defense showed up. They showed promise. My guy stayed healthy. Number 50, Sean Lee was out there. Hey, I saw Taco. You guys saw Taco out there? Let me know if you saw Taco doing a little something, you know. Jeff Heath, man. Jeff Heath saves today. The moment you doubt Jeff Heath, because that's what's the problem. I didn't doubt him from the first quarter. You know, he would have picked up the fumble if I started doubting him. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, finish strong. That's what I'm talking about, Darren Brooks. Hey, digressive. You know, who coined the phrase digressive? You know what I mean? That's what they did out there. It was 10-0. I think that my guy Switzer, you know, I have to put a little critics for him. He tried to do too much in the game. He tried to run the ball out. I was saying, hey, play it safe at this point. But if anybody checked out the cojones on Chris Jones, I'm talking about he get the MVP, baby. He get the MVP of the game. I'm talking, well, you know, you got to put a little bit for the clapper. Give me some clapping emojis because he was doing his deal out there for going for it on 4th down and 1 or 4th and an inch. And who would have known that if a paper was the determined reason for this game? Yeah, baby. A win is a win is a win. Got the star on my chest. Where is it? Little happy dad going to office like this tomorrow. Yeah. Yes, indeed. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Clap, clap money. We got to somehow, some way, we got to find a way to pay number 90. D-Law, man. D-Law was doing his deal, creating pressure. I'm talking about off the edge, twist stunts up the middle. I mean, if all we need to do now is get a replacement for Crawford, we be okay. And I hope Randy Gregory come back next year, right? He can stay off the weed. Get Randy Gregory back in the mix. I mean, come on now. Ooh, 2 missed picks, man. Yeah, I mean, a missed pick, missed fumbles was everywhere on the field. We played trash, but and then AB, man. For the life of me, I thought for sure that Cheeto Bay Awuzie was injured or Jordan Lewis was injured. What is going on with the staff of putting AB back out there on the island? I was like, no. Immediately when he got out there, and I'm gonna bring it up on film and tape. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pull this thing out, and you guys gonna see the immediate reaction when they put AB out there. They attacked this guy. They smell blood in the water, you know. But he did a good job. Don't get it twisted. He did a good, decent job, you know. And it's one of those things, man. Shout out to Brian, Eli. Was it Big? How do you say your name? Bing is now in the house too as well. You guys put out there where y'all from, man. Where y'all saluting from, man. Where y'all from? How long y'all been following the football team, and what you guys expect what's going to happen with next week game? You know, put that down in the chat box so I can see where you guys, so I get a flavor of what you guys are doing. We did miss 4 to 5 sacks, you know. Taco got held on the last play. Yeah, he did. You know, Dallas, Cyberlink from Dallas, somebody from South Carolina. Salute to you, my guy, my J Vion. We got Roxville in the house, man. That's right up the street. We got the Giants territory, man. Slap J White, JH White. Just slap him, man. When you see a Giants fan, just slap him. Say, hey, we the beast of the East. Although the Philly dilly the Philly dilly is the NFC East champions for right now. They just temporary, you know what I mean? But it's all good. Houston in the house, H-Town, get down. We got Fort Worth in the building too as well. But hey, man, we putting it down out here, man. Tennessee, or what we call it when I'm from Mississippi, we call it Sip, and we call it Tennessee, Tennessee. Let me know if you call it the same thing. Memphis, Tennessee. All right, Urban, Texas, Urban, Cali. Man, we got everybody. See, that's what make the Cowboy Nation so great. Can't nobody, I mean absolutely nobody, get on the mic and yell out where you from, who your team is, and they mention all of these cities out here. We got somebody from Compton. We got somebody from Philly representing Lakewood, New Jersey. Man, we got all this stuff. And I'm telling you right now, Jeff, he balled his butt off, buddy. Hey, and now Chris Collinsworth saying, hey, wait a minute. Now I'm looking at his film and tape, and I'm showing that he runs a 4.440. You know, I've been saying that for years now. It's just the fact that he's always at the right place at the right time. And guess what? That was his time right there on the field. It saved the game. He saved the game, baby. I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to keep it PG-13. You guys know how I do it. But oh man, Zeke coming back. I heard that Zeke been doing his push-ups. He stayed away from the media attention. He haven't been drinking. He stayed off the sauce. He got the 6-pack ready. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness. Zeke is about to explode. And there's a hidden element with Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant made me so hot this game. I'm talking about I'm so hot, but he made he made 2 catches. That meant everything. It was a comeback route. I think it was like 3rd and 19 or something like that, or 3rd and 20 or 2nd and 20 or something like that. He got the 19 yards. And you got to love that, you know, his ability to come back with the ball, use his physical prowess, use his strength to get that. It was a first down in my eyes, but they said it was he was like an inch short or something like that. That was the one play that I liked that he did. And then the other play that I liked or love or what have you was the bomb that he caught when Sean Smith turned the wrong way. And I'm telling people, when you play that technique, you want to line up into the inside of them. You want to line up into the inside of them. And Sean Jones, what he did, he turned the wrong way, you know. And when you turn the wrong way, Dez was just like, "You mines now, you lunch meat now, baby." And that's what Dez did, and that's what I like, you know. If Dak can ever get the continuity with Dez Bryant, my goodness, it'll be a whole nother game. And then on top of that, if we can just find one guy, I'm talking about one guy that's just like a sure hand catcher. We know Cole Beasley can do that, but he's limited in his routes. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. What's up, Julius? And what's up, Roy? And shout out to Primetime 21 in the house too as well. Salute to you guys. I'm not complaining, but what I'm saying is we just need that one guy that you know for sure his hands are like Velcro. I'm talking about stick 'em. I'm talking about naturally catches the ball with his hand. Because I think that's what Dak Prescott needs, you know. Oh, and salute to Jason Witten. Salute to him for reaching out, pounding the ball down, getting that first down. And salute to my guy. I think 84, he caught a deep pass down the seam. Shout out to them guys, man. It's the intangible things. And my God, I had to go back to Chris Jones. Ooh. Oh, they'll come to Dallas. Cobbs, man. Man, it's wishful thinking, man. Very wishful thinking. Ooh, but if we get an electric guy like Odell, man, my goodness, man. Somebody, a sure hand, Hannah. Yeah, Italian cowboy Hannah caught that pass down to me. I'm talking about like, man, my goodness. Yeah, yeah. Garrett was gutsy. That's from Being Is Now. Garrett was gutsy. I mean, anybody, the apologists for Garrett can stand real high today and tomorrow and all the way up to next week. I was this close. I was this close from just losing my mind when he ran the ball twice. It went in pistol formation in the goal line or the goal zone, whatever, you know, money zone, however you want to call it, and didn't get the ball to either. Hell, you could at least gave the ball to number 41. You know what I mean? But Lyle Collins did his job. Yeah, Lyle Collins did a good job. I must admit. Shout out to Hey Mama. I don't know his real name, or is it he or she? That's his username. Hey Mama. He was saying like, "Hey LT or Law, when you gonna do film on Lyle Collins?" But, you know, I'm gonna tell y'all. You know, offensive lineman film is the hardest film to cut up and curate. But I'm gonna tell you, this guy been doing Italian cowboy. Yeah, yo. This Italian. I'm about to say Italian. This Lyle Collins been doing a fantastic job, man, out there, holding his up and holding his own. Now, this is another thing I had a gripe with the coaching staff. I'm not gonna let them all the way off the hook. If this is an elimination game, if this is a game that you know for sure that you must win, come hell and high water, you absolutely do not put number 77, Tyron Smith, on the bench. If he's still healthy enough, and he still got blood pumping through his veins, and he's out there, and he needs to be out there if he's want to play, and you got a franchise quarterback that you're trying to groom and make, and you're already missing your leading running back, and you let this guy healthy, you know what I mean? If it's just a little sprain, I don't know, but you still, this is a game. This is a playoff game. You don't need to play it safe at that point. You need to put that big Mamma Jamma out there and let him play until he said, "Hey, I tapped myself out." But they took his knee brace away. They were scared. I don't know, you know. Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. All right, got to keep Dak healthy. Yeah, you got to keep Dak healthy, man. Got to. That Tampa 2 will not win the Super Bowl. If you go back and watch the game, like the announcer said, my only gripe with the Tampa 2, and we saw it a little bit when it was third and like forever, like 3rd and 18, 3rd and 19, or what have you. They get into this loose man, or pretty much like a loose man zone or loose zone, or a I don't know for the life of me. You already got your safeties playing deep. We know that. It's Tampa 2. It's not rocket scientists, you know. You got your two safeties playing deep. We know that Jeff Heath got some range in him, and we see the abilities of number 31 playing limited snaps. He's a little fresh out there. We understand that, but David Woods doing his thing. And we know that the hit stick is number 35. We know that. We understand that wholeheartedly. But for the life of me, when you put 27 out there and 33 and you play them deep too, of course they're going to give you the underneath. And then, of course, they design the plays to catch the ball while they're in momentum. So now you're out in space and you got two guys and it's just giving up the first down. To me personally, the Tampa 2 will work better if you have your two man-to-man bump uptight cornerbacks and they just play aggressive and physical throughout the whole game and don't give up. If you need to have a little relax, don't do the whole 7 to 10 yard cushion. Give them 5, but don't do the whole 7 to 10 yard cushion. That's our problem, you know what I mean, with that Tampa 2. But other than that, Wilson should have had an interception. Y'all saw that? Y'all saw that ball when Wilson, went through his hands. He got to catch that, Wilson. Talking about number 57. He had a sure interception. He should have caught that ball. But it's looking easy, man. Looking good for us, man, to be in the middle of the road of the defense. I think we top 15, 16 in defense. So it's looking pretty good, and we holding our opponents down to points, limited points. So, yeah, write that down, clap it out. Good evening, Law. This is from Billy Murphy. Great win. Garrett is horrible coach, though. Adjustments. I can't read it so fast, going so fast on the screen. But I will say this, Billy, it's just one of those things, man. A win is a win is a win is a win. And on both sides of the field, our defense looking like it's promising with the youth. It's just that our offense must catch up with our defense. Jason Witten is doing his thing out there, but we can only close our eyes and imagine if Rico Gathers was out there, if he was able to stay healthy. And then on top of that, we can only imagine if my guy David Irvin was out there. It would have been a whole different game. It would have been a whole different game. Let me see if we can pull up the 105.3 The Fan and see what they talking about, the after game review. Excuse me. But yeah, man, we got to get this thing going, man. One way or another. Let me see where this thing at. Where is it? Right here. Bam, bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Let's see what they got. Let's see what they got.
When they have Sean Lee in the fold, and Derek Carr had 171 yards passing. His passer rating 84.4. Marshawn Lynch, he's still so good. And he had 16 carries for 76 yards. And he was constantly making me worry that he was going to break a big one or he was going to dominate the Cowboys in the fourth quarter after he'd worn them down. And it was a threat, but he never really did fully go into total beast mode and dominate the game. Derek Carr, though, was just killing it with his legs. 4 carries for 47 yards. I think they were all scrambles. None of them were intentional. But it's amazing how difficult he is to sack. I don't know if anybody is more difficult than Aaron Rodgers, but I'd put Derek Carr, this is what, season 3 for him, season 4 for him. He's getting very, very good at feeling that pressure and then very quickly being able to escape. And then once he's past the line of scrimmage, he's very dangerous. He ran away from Sean Lee. Derek Carr's faster than Sean Lee, and that's not the hardest linebacker to run away from, but still, that's pretty good. Okay, Gavin Dawson and Jesse Hawley here. And we're still sort of reeling. We're coming up on an hour since the game ended, but just such an exciting finish to win it on a Derek Carr fumble into the end zone that rolled out of bounds for a touchback. And there will be no field goal for you and no game-winning touchdown for you. Cowboys take it. All right, let's go to Zach in Arlington over here on line 2. Zach, you're on the Dallas Cowboys postgame show. Go ahead.
What's up, guys?
Evening.
Jesse Holly, I'm talking to you, man. The first words out of your mouth in the first 2 minutes of the post-game show, you just want to torch Anthony Brown. Man, did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Show Jeff Heath some love. He just left his heart out on the field and won that game. You know, in the third quarter, I was talking with my uncle about who the player of the game was, and we couldn't decide, and I think we know now. The last play decided it. I know our chances of making the playoffs are slim, but, man, I don't care. I'm fired up. The stars are aligning for us. Zeke Elliott is coming back.
Okay, there you go. That's a good call.
Do people not listen? Okay, I'm not going to yell. Do people not listen? Do people selectively hear when we speak? So that no one, at no point in time, hear me say a ton of credit to Jeff Heath that he ran down Derek Carr from 20 yards away and saved that game. How Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis owe him a steak dinner because of his effort. Did nobody hear me say? See, this is the part that gets me a little bit upset is when you call in and you're incorrect. When you tweet me and you're incorrect. Because the first thing that I said, well, let's give a ton of credit to Jeff Heath for not giving up on the play and for running him down from 20 yards away, and how 2 other players owe Jeff Heath a steak dinner because had he not done what he'd done, you 2 other guys would have cost your team a football game. So if you're going to call in, and I'm happy for all of you guys to call in, please continue to call in. If you're going to tweet me, and I'm happy for you guys to tweet me, make sure your stuff is correct. Make sure you're fully listening to what I'm saying. Stop the selective hearing and stop the selective trying to come at me. I know what I say. I'm very cognitive of what I say, when I say it, and how I say it, and I have no problem on standing on what I said. If you're going to call in here correct. Because if you're going to come for me, come with facts. Come with factual stuff, or don't call at all. Because I'm ready for whoever's going to call in. Make sure you know exactly what you're talking about when you come for me. If not, I'm going to verbally assault you with my reply.
There it is, Jesse Holley. He's just getting warmed up. If you want a piece of him tonight, you better have your A game at 877-881-1053. I feel like people are geared up to come after you, and then they listen to you have a take, and all they hear is what they want to be mad at you for. And I'm okay with
come for me. Listen, come at me, come for me, pull up on me. I'm okay with all of that. I'm a big boy. Don't tase me. Please don't tase me. But I'm for all of that. I'm okay with you coming for me. I'm a big boy. But you gotta come correct. You're talking to your uncle. You probably wasn't listening to what I was saying.
Negative, man.
You probably that's what happened. You were talking to your uncle and you weren't listening. Right? There's a reason why. There's a reason why God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Try shutting one and opening the other 2 before you make a comment.
All right, let's head down here to line 3. You've had your warning. Here is Will in Dallas. You're on the Dallas Cowboys post-game show. Go ahead, sir.
What's going on, fellas? First of all, I want to say a big shout-out to Jesse Holley. You did call it, man. You said Derek Carr would give it to us, and he definitely did that. He handed it right to us. I want to get you guys' perspective on Dak moving a little bit out the pocket and running the ball a little bit. I think in these 6 games he could have been more of a threat as far as running the ball and help us with the run game. Maybe not 10, 12, 14 times, but maybe 5, 6, 7 times. There's a couple times I feel like he could have tucked it and ran and protected the ball and kept the ball away from the other offense.
All right, thanks for the call, Will. That opens a line at 877-881-1053. What do you think about Dak running and not running?
The one of the knocks of Dak Prescott is his pocket presence. Him understanding where he's at in the pocket, who's around him, what's the next step that he's supposed to go. And he doesn't want to be a runner. He wants to be a pocket passer. And you're starting to see him take those opportunities to run a little bit more now. But all that comes along with his knowledge of pocket presence growing. And the more he gets used to it, the more he gets better at it, the more experience he gets, he'll know when there's times for him to tuck it and run or when there's time for him to stand in the pocket and deliver the ball down the field. But that's one of the knocks on Dak Prescott, where his pocket presence can sometimes be a little bit off and him not knowing when and where to run the football.
He's selective. He really, really wants to save it and then use it when the team needs it most for a lot of reasons. I think he does a pretty good job. I also think the defenses have been doing a much better job of containing his rollouts. Defenses remaining true to their assignments, remaining disciplined a little bit more. I think it was on their first touchdown of the game where he missed Witten, and then it took him a few more plays to score.
My thing is,
I think that play right there was supposed to be the read option where he runs around the left tackle, but there were 2 defenders standing out there. So it was in his transition of being like, oh, they're going to stop this run, that he did not see Witten wide open. I think that just goes further to what Jesse was talking about. Like, it's going to take a while for this all to slow down and for him to more instinctually know based on what all of his senses are giving him as far as feedback. We're going to continue with your phone calls here on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. Gavin Dawson and Jesse Holley as the boys win 20-17. But Brad and Mickey are going to be calling in. The segment's brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting.
Yeah. Back in the mix, man. I like to mix it up so you guys can hear 105.3 The Fan. They're a pretty cool radio station, man. May have to go down there one day and talk to them. Say, hey, let me jump on. Let me talk to Jesse. But Heath is doing his thing. Looking back, breaking down that PI call on number 27. The last play, one of the last plays, the 55-yard. Was it body-to-body contact? Now, this is the thing. It was a veteran move by Crabtree to slow down, right? He slowed down just a little bit. And, the guy was looking for the ball. And then as a DB, when you coming up, I know you guys can't hear me because I don't have my mic, but when you coming up like this, and you can't see what's behind you, but you facing the guy, you can only go by feel. So when Crabtree was releasing it up on his route, my guy, number 27, had nowhere to go. That's why he was running into him. Now, on a college level, they'll call it incidental contact. College level PI is only 15 yards. It's not that whole 55 or 50-some yards. So did my guy Jordan Lewis play the right contact, the right technique? Yes, he played the right technique. But the problem was it was a veteran savvy move by Crabtree of slow up on his route, and he had no choice but to run into him, and the officials knew that. So the problem is with that, I know I get kind of hyped when I'm talking about DBs, but it's just the point, and the fact of the matter is we managed to save the game by winning the game. But this young kid, if you give him more time, if you have a bona fide, I'm talking about an all-out safety over the top for him, And Jeff Heath is doing his job as a rotational piece, not saying that he's garbage or anything of that nature. If you give this kid more time, like year 2, year 3, this Jordan Lewis is going to be locked down Lewis for real, man. It's just been real. And then on top of that, when you are a veteran in the league, they give you calls and they say, well, you know what? Dilly, like they say, right? And Cheeto Bayawuzie, from the naked eye, you guys saw when he took on number 24 head on, beast mode. I'm talking about like this kid shook it off and got back up. Well, we know for sure without a shadow of a doubt, Brandon Carr wouldn't have done that. We know for sure Morris Claiborne wouldn't have done that. He would have been still on the field somewhere, So those are things that you got to like with this young cornerback. They're aggressive. They drive down on the ball. They crash upfield, and they can get back, and they don't give up. Shout out to AB, Anthony Brown. I think he earned more playing time through special teams. I think he got the fumble, although they didn't jump on the ball, but he got the fumble from what's the kid name that ran it back from the Raiders? I forgot his name. You guys put it in the chat, but I think it's Patterson, something like that. The guy that I thought that we was going to go after during the offseason, because we should have went after Cordell. I think it's his name, Cordell Patterson. We should have went after him because he would have been a fantastic piece for Dak Prescott. He would have been a better Lucky Whitehead replacement. He would have been a taller Ron Switzer. You know what I mean? Peterson, what is his name? Yeah, so if you get these guys with speed, that's what we're missing, And Cordell Patterson, we know his hands are made out of parquet. That was his knock coming out of college. I think he came out of Tennessee. So, but he is a game breaker. He will run it back when you least expect it. Let me see. Yeah, Cordell, that drop on an interception as well. It hit him right in the numbers. We had a chance to get, let me see, I'm calculating, 4 turnovers. We had at least a chance to get 4 turnovers. The first fumble, the Cheeto Bayawuzie, I did the film. You guys look back at his film and tape. I said when he's beat to the inside, he's still going to peanut punch the ball. And I said that the Raiders wide receivers, one thing that I saw when I was looking at their film and tape is that you can man them. You can take the ball, rip the ball from them. They don't have the strongest hands in the world. They run good routes. That's one thing that I can say. Number 10, he runs good routes. Robertson runs good routes. And they got good hands. Robertson, number 10, got good hands, but it's not strong. You can rip the ball from him. You see what I'm saying? You can turn that man into a boy out there on the field. And that's what I said up against him. And we all know what Crabtree is with the chain. You know, he from Texas, right down the street. You know what I'm saying? So you can rip the ball from him and get into his mind. But Crabtree, he's a veteran. He's savvy. He's not his first year out there. So that's what you saw out there today. Taco looked better. That's from Joey. Yes, he did. He did look better. Dak got to be more accurate. Dak, let me tell you something. This is from Dak got to be more accurate. It's from Paco. Look here. The times that he did put the ball on the money, you see what I'm saying? Some of the receivers got to do their job too as well. So it's a give and take type of situation with that. Carr got a quick release. Yeah, he does have a quick release, but at this point, I would still rather have Dak Prescott than the David or Derek Carr, whatever his name is, you know. They still had their offensive line. You mean to tell me, I'm going to say this right now. You mean to tell me if you give Dak Prescott, Marshawn Lynch, and they had their entire offensive line that was healthy, you mean to tell me that Dak Prescott wouldn't have played better than David Carr, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, you know. So it's still at the same time, you know, he got guys that can run routes too as well. Number 10, and they had Jared Cook. They had a good tight end. So let's be honest with the situation. Right now, Dak outplayed the number 4. I'm just letting y'all know what it is, man. It's just what it is out there. I know the David or Derek Prescott, Carr apologist gonna be like, nah, he didn't.
NFL Films did or NFL Network did that comes along with it that they covered.
Well, he personally did a documentary.
Oh, okay.
You know, so documenting the entire time that he was there.
I think he should have played.
If I'm not mistaken, and if I was him, I would sell to one of these, you know, whether it be like the Bleacher Report or NFL Films or somebody, one of those Player Tribunes or somebody would give me some sort of monetary compensation for this video, because I know people are going to want to see what Zeke Elliott looked like, especially as Cowboys. Like, think about that. If you're some sort of website that drives, you know, get driven off of clicks, and you post a video of the documentary of 6 weeks of what Zeke has been doing, do you know how many Cowboy fans would flock? How many other networks would flock to the traffic you would get to your website to get your hands on that video? So if I'm Zeke and I have this video, this documentary of 6 weeks of me training and me going through all these things, they had counselors there, they had people come by and visit him and his intense training in Cabo. They took a section of the golf course, and we'll get more into that later. But if there's a video for that, I'm Zeke, I'm selling it.
You could edit, I don't know how much content they have, but you could edit that baby up and maybe even shoot bigger than that. You know,
6 weeks. That's a long time. 6 weeks.
You got to recoup that money somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, I think that's the stuff that inspiring stories are made of. Yep. Especially if he goes away and not only fixes up his physical skills, but his mental game as well.
Yes.
Could he elevate his mental game? Are there interviews or are there sessions with experts of sports psychology and stuff like this and impulse control that could really round it out and give a full scope of everything that, you know, he's working on?
His own 30 for 30.
I just hope that this is a catalyst moment for the rest of his life and not just something where he's temporarily feeling highly motivated to get back to the star that he was, right? This has to be like a holistic type of lifestyle and life monumental adjustment I'm hoping for this week. And I don't want to put too much into it. I just, you know, I want what's in the best interest of the Cowboys. And I know that, you know, when people mess up, they become highly motivated to fix that. And then once it's fixed and we get back to our normal life and it's the normal off season, are these 2 games we're about to see from Zeke going to be the 2 greatest games of his Cowboys career because he's in such shape and so motivated? Or is this the new professional Zeke that's about to be unfolded for us?
What is acceptable? When Zeke comes back, what is acceptable for Zeke when he comes back?
As far as production?
200 yards.
Like, does he have to come back and carry the ball for 25 times for $150 and 2 touchdowns? And if he doesn't do that, are we disappointed?
Man, as long as it's 90 yards and 4.5 yards per carry and a touchdown,
all right.
you know.
I'm trying to gauge. I'm trying to gauge. Are we saying, because I'm not saying he's in his second year, right?
Yeah.
He's not like some old running back. We're trying to, have lightning strike in the bottle twice. He's still well into his prime, right? He's not even into his prime yet. He's still green, so to speak. When you look at what he's done, he's only played professionally. He's had what? He got 20 games underneath his belt or something like that. 20-something games underneath his belt. What? He missed 6.
130
last year. So he has about 20 games underneath his belt right now. So he's still very green at the position. My thought process is what is acceptable for when he comes back?
Yeah.
Is him being out for 6 weeks when he comes back, and we're looking for, he and Eric Dickerson have this bet going on that he won't rush for 200 yards.
Yeah, I don't need 200 yards.
Are we looking for that? Are most fans like, he has to come back and rush for 3 touchdowns and 150 yards?
No.
What are the expectations for him when he comes back?
It's hard to say in any one game because the defense could totally have him planned up, or the game could shift into a completely different kind of contest. But for me, it's eyeball test. How good are those abs looking before the game, and does he have that extra gear that he can find that maybe Stephen Jones was talking about he did not have earlier in the season? Okay, it's Gavin Dawson and Jesse Holley. We're going to come back and hear from Brad Sham and Mickey Spagnola, get their insights from the locker room. Continue with your phone calls. Take a look at the scoreboard as well from a huge Week 15 in the NFL. Dallas Cowboys football will continue in a moment.
I'm so crazy about listening to the legends, the guys who paved the way for us all, man, as far as the people that talk on the radio. Champ, somebody else, man. He's next level. But it says Shane Donovan, he says, what do you think about Tony Romo or Jason Witten after they retire, become offensive coordinators of the future? I think that Tony Romo, he get paid way too much money, man, to come back to coach. Coaching, you gotta really burn the night fuel and all that stuff. You gotta really, when you coaching, it's 17 hours days, man, 12, 13-hour days, man. And then it's just a cycle. I think Candace Romo really want him to be at home with all the kids. So it's just one of those things. Jeff Heath was clutch, man. That's Renee. What channel is that? Joey, that's 105.3 The Fan. I think you can go online too as well to watch it. I don't know for sure where you located at, but in Dallas is one of the stations you listen to. 1310, the ticket is pretty cool too as well. But I kind of like getting in the middle of 105.3 Fan. As far as listening to content. But who you guys want me to talk about now, man? What's on you guys' mind? Collectively speaking. iHeartRadio, yeah, you can listen to it from iHeartRadio or TuneIn Radio.
Reject boundaries.
Went to a sports bar full of the Raiders fans. Wearing Romo jersey felt great. And you escaped out of there live, man. Didn't the Steelers just kind of like drop the ball? I know this off topic. I can't stand the Patriots, and I got to talk about them right now. I mean, they are in the weakest division ever in life. How they got somebody who's kind of sniffing up the division like the Bills. Maybe they stepping it up this year. And Dolphins. But if you go and imagine if they realign this stuff so we can be in our proper division. Because technically, Carolina Panthers belong in the NFC East. And if you take the Carolina Panthers out of their division and put us in their division, we'll play the Saints twice a year and the Atlanta Falcons twice a year. And who else will we play? There's another team in that division. But I would rather for us to be in that division. Not saying that, because we're the only team that's in the West that have to travel all the way to the East Coast. To me, it's kind of like crazy, you know what I mean? For us to be in the southwestern of the NFL of the United States. We in the southwestern part of the NFL. I'm going to say NFL. We in the southwestern of the United States, but we got to fly all the way to the east. You know what I mean? It's always been crazy to me. People would think that the Cowboys, if there was aliens from another country or from another planet, they'll come down and say, well, why in the hell are they calling themselves the East when they from the West? But I guess that's what makes us the best, Gotta put that out. Can't make this up. Yeah, Tampa. So we'll play Tampa twice a year, which would be real good. And we'll play Saints twice a year, Atlanta twice a year. And then what that does is they are all dome teams. You know what I mean? So it's like crazy. Tampa Bay, you know, never really have crazy weather out there. I mean, that would be like dream for like Ezekiel Elliott, you know, to play out of a dome, faster turf. I mean, this guy rack up so many yards. And then you're talking about collectively traveling. You won't have to travel that far. I mean, it just made
the 10-yard line looking to score and win the game. Cowboys end up winning 20-17. This segment is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Talk about car insurance. But
let's hear from Jeff Heath, because
man, a win is a win is a win is a win.
And then I mean, that's just something. 55-yard pass interference.
You know,
the Raiders could score.
That I
Jeff
love
Heath
to
makes
hear
a
about
play
that,
in
man.
the end zone to knock away a touchdown pass attempt. And then with Derek Carr scrambling and heading towards the goal, Heath comes in and knocks him out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Derek Carr extends his hand out to try to cross the pylon to get the touchdown, but he fumbles it into the end zone and goes out of bounds. Touchback. Cowboys win. Here's Mike Fisher with 38.
So Jeff Heath, when you got the angle to the corner and he's got the angle to the corner, are you seeing it all in slow motion, or is it all frantic and fast?
It just felt like a normal play. You know, it's I could tell that, you know, he was getting close to the end zone, and you know, I just tried my best to keep him out, and you know, thankfully he reached his hand out and he fumbled. And, yeah, it was just like any other play though.
I don't know if you've seen the replay. Have you seen it yet?
I just saw it on the Jumbotron during the game, just one time, but that's about it.
Do you think the nudge from you might have helped the ball come loose a bit?
Hopefully. You know, I don't know. You know, he that's tough when you're laid out like that, and you know he's fully extended and someone hits him. It's tough to hold on to the ball, unless you're Aaron Rodgers, obviously. But you know, thankfully he dropped it.
Yeah, thankfully he dropped it. If he hadn't have dropped it, then you know, field goal probably happens, and Cowboys would be heading for overtime, and you know, who knows what happens at that point. It's so crazy that they could have easily been 500 and really, you know, hanging on to the playoff chances by a very, very thin string. But now it's legit, and somewhere in the 40 to 45% probability range, if they can win the next 2 games, they'd get into the playoffs, Jesse.
That jump from last week was 4% last week.
Yes, well, that 4% number was not assuming that they would win out.
Baby.
Okay.
You know, assuming that they win out, the number climbs a little bit closer to 50-50. All right, Gavin Dawson and Jesse Holley here, and before we get back to your phone calls, you want to take a quick look at the scoreboard here, let you know what else happened today in the world of pro football. An action-packed Week 15 that'll wrap up tomorrow night in Tampa with the 4-9 Buccaneers hosting the 8-5 Falcons. The Lions beat the Bears 20-10. The Chiefs over the Chargers 30-13. Bills beat the Dolphins 24-16. Ravens over the Browns 27-10. Vikings beat the Bengals 34-7. Saints over the Jets 31-19. Eagles over the Giants 34-29. Philly could have lost. They could have lost to an Eli Manning-led Giants team, but a lot of craziness happened there. Redskins over the Cardinals 20-15. The Panthers beat the Packers 31-24, and Aaron Rodgers returned. He did have 3 touchdowns in defeat. Jags blow out the Texans 45-7. Rams destroyed the Seahawks 42-7. Seattle coming to AT&T Stadium next weekend. Patriots beat the Steelers in a game that was absolutely bananas. You want to talk about late officiating decisions? Well, there was a catch-no-catch situation that took away the game-winning touchdown from Pittsburgh, and then they couldn't convert as Ben Roethlisberger threw an interception on 3rd down. 49ers over the Titans 25-23. Garoppolo with another 300-yard passing game. He has opened up his San Francisco 49ers career with 3 straight 300-yard passing games, and they're excited because they won again. They're now 4-10 on the year, and they beat the Titans 25-23. All right, let's head to line 11 down here. Brad Sham calling into the Dallas Cowboys post-game show. Brad, how you doing, man? That was really exciting, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's supposed to be entertainment, I think they realized that goal. It was that was the craziest game I've ever seen.
Do you think Gene Steratore could have called that a turnover on downs as well? Was it that close that it was just a 50-50 the way he saw it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it looked that way, but I also thought, I don't know how much difference there was between that and Morris not being given a touchdown on the goal line, but I've never seen a referee pull out a card like that to measure between the end of the ball, and the stick. That's just crazy.
So it was so close to really being, for all intents and purposes, out of the playoff picture, and now very much in after an exciting victory. What was that locker room like? What'd you learn from talking to the guys and stuff?
You know, they won, and most of them were a little bit like I think a lot of us, Gavin, where they looked at each other at the end and they said, "Well, okay, we won, right?" That was, and it was interesting to talk to Jeff Heath. And so, what did you see? What did you think when you hit him? And so I hit him, and I saw the ball come out, and I saw it as soon as I saw it roll out the side of the end zone. I knew it was a touchback, but I know there were some other guys there who didn't know that it was a touchback, and they didn't know they were getting the ball back. And I think that the Raiders did too. You put so much into a game like that. Every play it seems like it's crucial. And they're 4th and 10, and they feel like they've probably got it won, and then you give up the pass interference, and now you think, okay, is there any way we can just hold them to 3? And now it looks like it's going to be a touchdown, and now, oh wait, they fumbled the ball. I mean, the emotions are completely roller coaster. Just as much as fans that we ride the roller coaster, imagine what that must be like for a guy where that's your livelihood, and that's your time with the guys that you go to figurative war with, and it's up and down like that. I mean, that's just crazy. So I think they're relieved. I think they're very happy to have won. They know that they're still alive, and now they got a long ride back, and they'll exult and be happy, and they'll get ready to go play Seattle, see what happens.
And Brad, maybe I'm reaching just a tad bit, but these officials are human, and they have a thought process as well. Gene Tessitore, he was the same guy who made the call against the Cowboys, the dead catch, no catch, whatever side you sit on the fence with that. Do you think when he's down there measuring this first down, because he had a smirk, when you get a chance to watch the replay, he comes out of this pile and he has this smirk on his face, like, I'm about to make this call. Do you think while he's sitting down there, he's thinking to himself, all right, here's my chance to kind of, reverse this call and give the Cowboys benefit of the doubt this time?
No, I don't, Jesse, because there's so many things that were going on in the game, and we don't know what kind of grief he was hearing from both sides. And by the way, then they had that catch by Seth Roberts that kept a drive alive that should have been a punt, and I still don't think it was a catch, any more than I thought the Dez thing was not a catch, any more than I thought the Steelers guy today didn't catch the ball. I mean, I didn't think this guy caught it for the same reason, and they ruled that he did. And so I don't think that goes through his mind. I would like very much to ask him if he's ever pulled a card out to see how close the measurement for a first down was. But, I think he knows that he was involved in that game. It was a big game. But I don't think he's got any thoughts about, a makeup call for the Cowboys or anything like that.
How were Tyron Smith and Anthony Hitchens getting along?
I heard a positive report on Hitchens that it was possibly just a bone bruise, that he might have banged knees with a guy, and by a little bit later on in the week he could be okay. Now, Tyron, I just walked by Tyron, and all the offensive linemen are standing with their line coach together smoking a cigar right now, and I think they've got that coming. But the report that Christie had was a sprained knee as a preliminary report, and if that's the case, it depends what part of it. That's usually a ligament, but it depends which ligament. If it's a medial collateral, then I've known guys to play with that. If it's, of course, an ACL, then that's a whole different thing. And so that's just going to be one where they'll treat it as best they can, and it'll probably be Thursday before they know anything, unless they know earlier in the week that it's something that definitely rules him out.
Is there Zeke excitement yet, or is there professionalism probably?
I don't know how there couldn't be. Because we're only human. We saw and maybe they'd have stopped him too, but the difficulty they had getting in on the last offensive possession where they wound up kicking the field goal with a minute something left, and you can't help but think, okay, if you had that other guy, then that might have gone differently. He's just a different kind of back. He makes a difference, just like Lynch makes a difference for the Raiders. So, I mean, I don't think there's been the kind of like anticipatory excitement from players until now, but now they know he's coming back, and now I think there will be.
How about Jason with that fake punt? Was that his call? I'm assuming head coach's call right there.
You know, no, that is actually not something that is. Now, I don't know specifically, but that is what usually happens with something like that, is that the head coach has to say it's okay to do it. Then the special teams coach and the punter and the personal protector have looks that they see during the week in film study that if this comes up, we have the call on. And if it doesn't come up, we have it off. Now, there were some vague comments being made about this. So as we sit here right now, and I'm on the bus getting ready to go to the airport, and I'm not sure if there was a miscommunication and they weren't supposed to run it, or there was a disagreement about it, but they ran it and it worked, and all of the coaches will get, well, not all of them, but Bisaccia and Garrett will be involved in getting credit for a gutsy call at that end of the field. I just had the feeling from talking to some of the people that I talked to that there's a little more to learn about this particular call yet. It might not have gone the way everyone expected. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll know the answer to that.
I like the guts to go between the tackles there. He didn't pop it outside. He was in there for
No, you know, one of the things I do like about that kid, he was an 8-man football quarterback in high school in Georgia, and he is a tough kid. We've seen it before. We saw the play against the Lions where he knocked the guy out a couple of years ago, and we saw the pass that he threw in, I don't remember which game, I want to say Atlanta, that he got called back because Butler pushed off. But he's an athlete, and he prides himself on being an athlete, and that competitive spirit in him, that's something that I think is a big plus.
Appreciate you, sir. Have a great flight.
Thank you very much. Talk to you later.
Take care. There he goes, voice of the Cowboys, Brad Sham, right here on the Cowboys Radio Network as the boys win 20-17. We're going to catch up with Jason Witten in the Cowboys locker room. Des Bryant has talked to the media after a stretch of not. We'll tell you what he had to say and ask Jesse for his thoughts on it. But let's step aside as the Cowboys improve to 8-6 on the year. You're listening to the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield, we understand what we need to bring to our members every day. Security.
But, yeah, so can't wait to just look at these film, man, and I thank everybody for tuning in and showing your love and support for the channel. Getting late on my end. It's about 12 o'clock, so I'm finna shut this thing down. So all I can say is in closing, gotta win out. Win is a win is a win. We just got to figure out a way to just get Zeke back out there on the field now. Hopefully he going to look sharp, poised, cool, calm, and collected. You up against your struggles, meet it squarely face to face. Lift your chin, set your shoulders, plant your feet, and take a brace when it's vain to try to dodge it. Do the best that you can do. You may fall, you may conquer. Black may be the clouds about you and your future may seem grim, but don't let your nerves desert you. Keep yourself in fighting trim. If worse is bound to happen in spite of all that you do, remember, running from it will not save you. See it through. Even hope may seem but futile, then with trouble may be beset. But remember, you facing what other legends have met. You may fall, but fall still fighting. Head high, eyes to the finish. Till you see it through. See it through. Gotta salute it out. Peace. This is your brother from another mother. No other. I don't look like Danny Glover, but keep it cool for you guys. And remember, you guys are listening to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out.
What about your memorabilia? Do you have your own jersey or autographed ball from your favorite player? Stop by CSD Framing in Carrollton and have them custom framed. Proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Everything we frame is custom designed and in-house. For a free quote, visit csdframing.com. CSD Framing. We get your frame of mind.
Hi, I'm Tito Beverage, founder and master distiller of Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Love you guys, man. Appreciate you guys for following into the channel, man. about them Cowboys. Eddie, salute my guy Roy in the house. Cleveland Brown. Was it Cam? Phonic? Rosario. Shout out to you. I can't wait to get Rosario talk some about it. Ralph. Drew. Mingus now. Salute to you too as well. You guys go follow his page at the Cleveland Brown Show on out there too. But Chris. Shout out. My middle name, Chris. To you. Got it, Barry B. Got the hen dog on the rocks, baby. Mad ass.